On a rainy afternoon in 1994, a small-town mail clerk in Pennsylvania noticed something odd: a thick, unmarked envelope with no return address, addressed to the police department. Inside was a single, neatly typed letter that began with just 4 words: "I can't live anymore." No name, no signature, no fingerprints. The envelope made its way into the hands of investigators in what was considered the most frustrating cold case in the region's history. 10 seasoned detectives had worked this case for over 6 years. All failed, but this one letter, just one, would crack open a mystery that baffled the entire force. And the truth, it was darker than anyone imagined. In the quiet town of Mill Creek, Pennsylvania, 22-year-old art student Melissa Grantham vanished after attending her late-night sculpture class on March 17, 1988. Known for her free spirit and soft smile, Melissa never came home that night. Her abandoned red Saturn was found 3 days later near a frozen quarry. Her purse was inside, her keys on the passenger seat, but no Melissa. There were no signs of a struggle, no witnesses, no forensic leads. For months, the community searched. For years, police investigated. 10 detectives rotated through the case. Tips poured in, psychics even got involved. But Melissa Grantham was gone, vanished like smoke in the wind. Until that letter showed up. Detective Ray Moreno had worked the Grantham case for 2 years before giving up. He described it as a case with no beginning and no end. Inconsistencies haunted the investigation. Melissa's ex-boyfriend passed 3 polygraphs, but failed a voice stress test. A local drifter confessed, then vanished. A neighbor claimed she saw Melissa the night after she disappeared. But every lead died fast. There was no DNA, no murder weapon, and no body. The case went from top priority to forgotten tragedy, until 6 years later, a single envelope was placed on a police desk like a ghost whispering, "Look again." The letter's content was eerie, apologetic, desperate. "I never meant to hurt her. We were just arguing. She slipped. I panicked. I buried her where the wildflowers grow." That was it. The phrase "where the wildflowers grow" struck Detective Moreno like lightning. It was a detail that had been mentioned in Melissa's journal, a journal never released to the public. Only Melissa and her killer could have known it, but there was still no name, no location. Moreno pushed the case back to active status. He reassembled a cold case task force. The letter was fingerprinted. Nothing but the typewriter ink in the paper stock led them somewhere surprising: a mental health facility just 12 miles outside of town. Only one patient had checked in using a fake name in the past month: Gregory Halson, 47, a former substitute teacher and Melissa's sculpture instructor in college. Halson had a clean record, quiet, polite, but when police arrived at the facility, he was gone. He'd signed himself out 2 days before the letter arrived. A manhunt began. The Grantham family had lived in torment for 6 years. Melissa's mother, Janelle, had become a recluse. Her father, Bruce, had divorced and moved away. Haunted to stay near her room. But when the letter leaked to the press, everything changed. Mill Creek turned into a frenzy of fear and fury. Halson's name hadn't been released publicly, but rumors swirled. Parents panicked. Reporters camped outside the old art school. Former students began telling stories of Halson's strange behavior, late-night critiques, odd touching, quiet manipulation. Then one former student, Tina Marsh, came forward. She remembered Halson always carried a brass ring of keys with a green plastic tag, the same kind Melissa had on her keychain. The same keys found in the car, but still no arrest, no body. The Granthams made a public plea to whoever sent the letter: "Please tell us where she is. Please let us bury our daughter." And then, a second letter came. 2 weeks after the first, another envelope arrived. This one addressed to the Grantham family. It read, "I buried her where she smiled the most, behind the overlook at Wilton's Bluff, under the dogwood tree. I'm sorry." Police raced to the location. Wilton's Bluff was a popular spot where college students would go for picnics and hiking. Behind the overlook was a clearing. There, under a mound of disturbed earth, they found skeletal remains. Dental records confirmed it was Melissa. Clutched in her fragile fingers was a small, rusted brass key ring with a green plastic tag. The town fell silent. Halson was placed on the FBI's most wanted list. He had crossed state lines, using disguises, aliases, and burner phones. For the first time, a suspect had a name, a motive, and undeniable evidence. But he was still out there. Just when detectives believed they were closing in on Halson, something chilling happened. Detective Moreno received a third letter, but this time, it was hand-delivered, left at his front door. "You found her. Good. Now let's see if you can find the others." The letter was signed G. Was Melissa the only one? Had Halson done this before? Or worse, was he planning to do it again? Oh,